Hey guys, what's up? Shin05T5 here, coming at you with another drawing video. It's Sunday, so we're back at it again. And today's video, we're going to be drawing Luffy from One Piece in his second gear pose. This video was requested by Sprited67, so thank you so much for the request. I do appreciate it. And yeah, we're just going to be drawing Luffy here. This is actually a rather easy pose, mainly because his head is like tilted down, so we just see the top of his head. So that'll save a bunch of time that we don't have to draw his face. But yeah, so this one shouldn't be too bad. So anyway, guys, let's get our pencils ready and let's jump in. Alright guys, so for this one, we're going to start with our paper landscape. Usually we do it portrait, but for this one, it makes more sense to do it landscaped because of the pose Luffy's in. But basically what you want to start off doing is draw a nice decent sized circle in the center of the page. This is basically going to be where his head's going to be at. And then when you draw that circle, what you could do is draw kind of like a little halfway line. And we're doing just the gesture, so keep all these lines very, very light. You can do a line going through kind of the middle there. And then you're going to have a nice circle here for his shoulder and another one here for this shoulder. And then basically what you're going to do is kind of get like this kind of triangle type shape right underneath there. And then from there, I guess you can get like another little circle. And then you're going to get a nice big oval here and an oval here. This is going to be where his legs kind of go out. And then we're going to get a line going down here for his feet. And then another one going down here for his other foot. And then his hand will be right about there. And then his arm is just going to go out, kind of be like a little circle here, and then go down. Actually kind of minimize it there. And that's pretty much it for the gesture that we need. So we're just going to jump into detail here. So what I like to do is starting off with his head. And his head's kind of like, almost like a little bit of like a water droplet shape type of thing. It'll be mostly this shape, but what you're going to do is break it down into several spikes. So right here, we're just going to go into like a spike and just kind of follow the curve of this circle shape that we have here as the hairs go up like this. Here is where it's going to start to like curve around and kind of change direction. So you can do kind of a few spikes like that. And then some more here. And then just kind of like just them going up like that. So if you have a shape that looks something like this, you are pretty good. Now that we got that down, we can kind of draw in his arm here because it's kind of in front of everything. So his arm, or his shoulder is going to start right about here. And basically what you can do is lightly draw in a curve line like this. This is going to be like where his shirt is. And then right here, you're going to draw a little curve line like this to start for like the shoulder muscle. And then from here, we're going to go out, draw a curve line going around it in like this for his other muscle. And then we're going to get like a circle here, a little point right here. This is where his elbow is going to be. And then kind of a shape that kind of goes out and then tapers in like this, so like a little triangle. And then his fist is going to be straight down, straight across, up, and then over like that. So basically what we need to do here is I am just going to start right about here and draw a curve line, curving over, down, kind of going into about there like that. Then here I'm just simply going to get a nice big kind of curve line like that. Get a little bit of a line going here and then down like this. And then right where the elbow is, you're just going to get a little curve line like that. And then here we're just going to go into the bicep, which is just a curve line curving into the shirt here. And now you could darken in this line. And now we're just going to go straight into the hand here. The hand's fairly easy. It's basically this line going straight down. Then very much like across and up here. But what you want to do is draw a series of 4 circles here. And then you just want to put like a little bit of a bump on the bottom here like this. And then this is going to go up and then in like so. And then you'll get 3 lines going up like that. And then the thumb is just going to go off here, go out, over, and then in like that. And then we can erase there. And if you want to, you put a little vein. And to do a vein, you do like almost like a little C shape like that. Then you do a C shape going in the opposite direction. And then you do one on the bottom, and you get like a little vein shape there. Very simplified vein. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the arm. Actually, looking at it, the thumb's going out a little bit. To fix that, I'm just going to adjust this curve a little bit more. Make it less severe. Like that. Alright, so now that that's done, we can start getting in like this side of the shirt, which is actually fairly easy. Basically, it's going to go off the shoulder here and be a line going up, in, and then it's going to just be this nice curve line that would curve up around there like that. And then right going off the head, or actually we could mark in where the like halfway line is going to be. And then it's going to curve in, over, and then up like that. And then right here, we could draw a line going down and over like this. And then it's just going to curve up and then in right about there like that. And then starting here, we're going to get a little curve line that goes into this, goes in there like that. And then you can draw a little like curve line here and here, just to show like folds in the shirt. And then we can actually go into this arm next, which is fairly simple. We're going to start off with a circle here again. And then it's going to go over here, and then the arm's just going to go over here, and then the hand's going to be right about there like that. So what we're going to do here is start with that little curve line again, like so. And then right here, we're going to draw a little curve line going out here, kind of following the circle that we have. Same thing over here, we'll get a curve line going out. Then it's going to bump over and then in like that. And then here, it's just going to go out, kind of curve in, straighten out where the elbow is, and then just kind of curve down and in like that. And then right here, what we're going to do is just draw a line going down, kind of curving down, and then in like this. And you don't really have to worry about this hand. You'll see why later when we draw in the like puffy part of his pants or furry part. I don't know what you'd, or his shorts. But right now, this is good enough. So we're just going to leave that there. But we will jump back to this in a second. And now here, when we're going to follow this curve line going over, then it's going to curve out and then in right about there, like this. I'm going to extend this line out a little bit. And this line's just going to simply go out, kind of curve over and then in like so. And then here it's going to pop out and then just kind of curve into the edge of that line there like that. And now to finish off kind of like the upper half, we could draw in his straw hat, which is basically like this line going across with like a dome on it. Something like that. But we're going to refine the shape here. And basically what we're going to do is draw a nice little curve line that kind of goes across the hair here like this. Then it's going to go down and then over like that. And then here we're just going to get a nice big kind of dome type of shape like this. And then a line going across for like the ribbon that goes around the hat. And then on the edges here, you're just going to draw two, like a curve line like this. And then another line that hugs that line closely. This is the string that keeps Luffy's hat in place. And then just draw two going in like that. And that's pretty much it. I'm darkening the hair here to make it a little bit more visible. Also, you can shade in the hair. I'm not going to do it just to save time, but if you want to, you can kind of like shade all that in. I did that on the inked version. But now that we got that done, we can jump to the bottom portion here and start doing his legs. So I actually like starting off with like the fur part first. And basically what we're going to do is start right about here and get a little curve line like this. And then you basically get like this oval that goes around the curve line. So you get almost like a little bit of like a sideways donut looking thing. But here, this is what I mean by like the fur on his shorts. Basically, you could just draw little jagged spike lines going out here on this side. Like that. And then once you get that in, you can draw a little curve line curving up into the hand here. And then for the hand, like I said, we're going to go back to, you basically just draw a line hugging this line for the fingers, and we're not going to see a lot of them. We're just going to see like 2 or 3, and then the fur is going to kind of cover up the rest, like that. But now that's done, we could basically do the same thing on this side too, where we're going to get that nice curve line, and then that kind of like donut shape around it, like this. And for this one, we can actually just kind of darken in, since no hands touching it, like that. And then we'll just simply get like a curve line going in here. And then here, basically, you just get like a curve line connecting this circle to this one. And then what you do here, so I'm just going to darken that in. And then what you do here in the middle, you'd probably get like 2 kind of lines like this to show like the shorts kind of like stretching, like the material. And then you draw like, I guess the fly part of his pants would go here, but when they intersect these 2 lines, what you want to do for this curve line is offset it just slightly, like that, and then we'll do another one here and here. That'll give it the illusion that it's like bending through the kind of fabric. I'll even erase because it's kind of scribbly, and just redraw that in. So we're going to get that one curve line here, another one, and then we'll get a curve line here and here. Offset it just slightly, and then offset it again when it goes to the bottom, so it kind of gives the illusion that it's like bending with the fabric. And now that that's done, we just need to draw in his feet, and then I guess the steam cloud too. So to draw in his feet, it's not too hard. We're basically going to get like a circle up here for the knee, and then the legs are going to go down and then straight into the foot here. And pretty much what we're going to do is just start right about here. Draw a nice curve line, curving over, down, and then when we get to the ankle, it's going to have like a little bit of a dip to it. And then here, we're just going to get a curve line. It's going to go down, in, and this is going to go straight into like the ankle here, like the part that bumps out. And then for the rest of the foot here, basically what you're going to do is draw a line going down. And I'm keeping this light, this is just gesture right now. And it's going to go across, and this will just like connect into that like there. And basically what you can do is get a series of circles, 5 of them for the toes. And basically to draw the toes in, it's basically this little bump that straightens out on top like this. So you get one, I can zoom in a little bit. And then we'll get another one here like that. Another little bump, one, and then one more right there like that. And then the foot is going to have like a little bit of a bend in it right there. So it's going to dip in a little bit. I'll redraw that in just to keep it clear. Like that. And then what we're going to do here is you're basically going to get like a little V that goes out. And then a line that hugs it real close like this. And then one that goes like across like that. And then you can shade all that in, because that'd just be a black line there. And then what you get here is we are going to get a little curve line going around like this that hugs the foot, and then one going down and around and then up for the other one. And that's pretty much how you draw his foot. Again, not super complicated. And then again, of course, you get a line connecting from here to here, that little gap. So that's one foot, and we're pretty much going to do the same thing on this side, just going in the opposite direction. So again, we'll start off with that circle. We're going to go down to that foot shape, but we're just going to go straight into it. So I'm going to draw that curve line that curves over. It's going to have like a little bit of a dip right there. Draw that curve line right about here. And go down into the ankle there. And then here we're just going to get that foot shape. Like so. Get those series of 5 circles, and basically just get that straight line little bump right there. Another one, and then the last one. And then here it's just going to curve in, have that little bit of a dip as it connects into the heel there, like that. Then we'll get that V shape with the line hugging it very closely. You can shade all that in. And then we'll get a line going across like this. And then we will get the rest of the foot, which is the shoe, which is like a curved line going all the way around. Line going down, over, and then up like that. Again, not very complicated. I think the feet are the hardest part on this whole thing. But there's just one more thing we need to do, and that is to draw the steam cloud around Luffy. And it's fairly simple. Basically, you break it up into like 3 or 4 parts. So we're going to have like a part up here, one kind of over here, one kind of here, and then it's going to go like around there like that. And there's really no definite shape that you need. You can just kind of do these like swirls. So basically I'm going to start here and just draw a nice little swirly line like that. I'll start right about here, draw another one like this. And with like cloud shapes, they're just kind of like these big kind of curve lines like that that kind of overlap each other. So here, start with a big kind of curve like that. Have this kind of go into that one. Have this kind of go up. This one will go down. Maybe put like little ones here too. Again, there's no like exact shape, so as long as you're doing kind of like cloudy shapes like this, it should look pretty good. And if you want to, you can kind of do like some in the middle here as well, just kind of floating around. And then for these bottom ones here, they get kind of like elongated. So like for this one, I'm going to start here, and we're just going to draw a little curve line like that, and then this one's going to go over. Kind of get like, this is what I mean by getting elongated. But again, you just want to keep them kind of like wavy and like, just keep that wave to it. And then here on the floor here, kind of go over, kind of up. Sometimes you can go into like little spikes too if you want. I wouldn't put too many spikes. I keep it more rounded, but to give it a little bit more like variation, you can put a couple more spikes in like that. Like so. And then here pretty much the same thing. And again, there's no like exact way to do this. As long as you get kind of like a smoky type of shape like this, you should be pretty good. Like that. And then we'll have a little bit of it going past here like this. Kind of like that, and bam! There you go. You got second gear Luffy. Not too bad. Again, I think this pose is actually rather easy. Again, I think the hardest part is drawing his feet here. But the fist is fairly simple. The head's super simple because we're just drawing his hair. So again, not a bad pose. So I'm going to put that one over here. I'm going to put the inked version, if it doesn't get stuck under the lamp, over here as well. And I'll show off kind of I'll move it a little bit closer together. There we go. Show off both of them as best I can. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again, Sprited67, for the request. I do appreciate it. If you guys have requests, just leave it in the comment section below. And then tune in on Sunday when I make a drawing video. Also, before you ask your request, check the playlist. I do have a ton of drawing videos. So a character you might want to see might already be done. So just check the playlist before you make a request, because I might already have it done on the channel. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.